Welcome to African Folktales by Eri. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more interesting stories. Also to share with friends and family. Now, sit back, relax, and let the story begin. We have returned, he whispered. Ancestors, we have returned. Thus began the rebirth of Mawingo, with Baako guiding their efforts. What none of them realized was that the battle for freedom had been only the first test. The true challenge, the one that would reveal both heroes and traitors, was just beginning. On the first night back in Mawingo, the freed people slept beneath the stars, too exhausted to do anything more than clear small spaces among the tall grasses and collapsed huts. But even in their tiredness, there was a profound sense of peace. This was their land, and the spirits of their ancestors surrounded them. For the first time in 15 years, they were home. Dawn broke with a renewed sense of purpose. Baako was already awake as the sun's first rays touched the eastern horizon. He stood on a small hill overlooking what remained of the village, mentally cataloguing the work that lay ahead. Though the task seemed enormous, his heart was light. This was the dream that had sustained him through countless days of slavery, to see his people home and free again. As others began to stir, Baako called them together beneath the great baobab tree that had miraculously survived the years of abandonment. This ancient tree had been the heart of village life before the raids, where elders dispensed wisdom and important decisions were made. We begin today the work our ancestors entrusted to us, Baako spoke, his voice carrying across the gathering. Each hand must work, each mind must think, each heart must hope. We are few, but we are mighty because we carry the strength of those who came before us. The people nodded, drawing resolve from his words. All except Jelani, who stood at the back of the gathering, arms crossed and his expression guarded. Who made you chief? He called out, his voice cutting through the moment of unity. My father was a council elder before the raids. Perhaps it should be me who leads. A murmur passed through the crowd. Baako regarded Jelani steadily, remembering the childhood friend who had once been like a brother to him. I claim no title, Baako responded calmly. I offer only my strength and the wisdom I have gained. If the people wish to choose another leader, I will follow their choice with a glad heart. Old Kamal stepped forward, his gnarled walking stick tapping against the ground. In the old days, leadership was earned, not claimed. Let us work together first. The one who truly leads will become clear in time. This compromise satisfied most, though Jelani's face remained clouded with discontent. Nevertheless, the work of rebuilding began. The first priority was shelter. Using skills preserved through oral tradition during their captivity, the people cut saplings and wove them with grasses to create temporary huts. Women gathered edible plants remembered from childhood, while men fashioned simple weapons for hunting. Children were taught to collect water from the stream that ran along the village boundary. Baako worked alongside everyone in the community, often taking on the heaviest tasks himself. When an elderly woman struggled to carry thatch for roofing, he would appear at her side to help. When children grew tired while collecting water, he would tell them stories of the village's past glory to motivate them as they completed their tasks. Each evening, the community gathered to share the day's harvest and listen as the elders recounted traditions and histories that had been forbidden during their enslavement. Slowly, Mawingo began to thrive again, not just as a physical place but as a community with shared values and purpose. Tabitha worked closely with Baako, and their partnership deepened as they faced each challenge together. Her knowledge of medicinal plants proved invaluable, as many suffered from injuries sustained during their escape or from the harsh conditions of their journey home. My father says the ancestors guide your steps, she told Baako one evening as they walked along the perimeter of the village. He says they have chosen you. Baako looked troubled by her words. I wish only to see our people thrive again. I claim no special favor from the ancestors. Yet it is to you that the people turn when decisions must be made, she observed. It is your counsel they seek. Your denials do not change what is plain to see. Indeed, without any formal declaration, Baako had become the de facto leader of Mawingo. When disagreements arose, his fair judgments were sought. When new challenges emerged, his strategic mind found solutions. Most importantly, his vision of a restored Mawingo inspired all who heard him speak. All except Jelani. As the seasons changed and the first crops were harvested from newly cleared fields, Jelani's resentment festered like an untreated wound. He gathered around him those who felt overlooked in the rebuilding efforts or who preferred his more aggressive vision for Mawingo's future. Baako speaks of peace and tradition, Jelani would say to his small but growing circle of followers. But what protected our traditions before? Nothing. We were taken as slaves because we were weak. Should we not build an army first, then worry about which songs to sing beneath the baobab tree? These sentiments found fertile ground among some of the younger men who had known nothing but captivity for most of their lives. The memory of powerlessness was still fresh, and Jelani's talk of strength was seductive. Meanwhile, rumors began to circulate that Sefu the Cruel was rebuilding his forces. Hunters occasionally reported seeing unknown tracks in the forest surrounding Mawingo, suggesting that scouts from other territories were watching them. When these concerns were brought before the village gathering, Baako listened carefully before responding. We must be vigilant, yes, he acknowledged. But we will not become like those who enslaved us. We will train defenders, not conquerors. We will build walls to protect our children, not to hide behind in fear. His balanced approach reassured many, but Jelani saw an opportunity. Sefu will come for revenge, he declared loudly. When he does, Baako's half measures will fail. We need weapons, warriors, and alliances with stronger villages. The community became divided on this issue. Some sided with Baako's measured approach, while others found Jelani's warnings compelling. The unity that had characterized their first seasons of freedom began to fracture. One evening, as rain drummed against the newly thatched roofs, Baako sought out Jelani directly. He found him sharpening spear points with several followers. "Walk with me, brother," Baako invited, using the term of affection from their childhood. "Let us speak as we once did." Reluctantly, Jelani agreed. They walked in silence until they reached the village boundary, where the forest loomed dark beyond their torchlight. "I know it was you," Baako finally said, his voice quiet but firm. "You warned the guards of our escape plan." Jelani's step faltered momentarily, but he did not deny the accusation. "And yet we succeeded. Perhaps my warning made you more careful, more determined." "Many died who might have lived," Baako replied, sorrow evident in his voice. "Why, Jelani? We were like brothers once." "Brothers?" Jelani laughed bitterly. "Is that how you saw me? The lesser brother always in your shadow. Even before the raiders came, it was always Baako this, Baako that, the son who made his father proud." The raw pain in Jelani's voice made Baako pause. "I never sought to overshadow you. You never had to try," Jelani responded. "Now you would make yourself chief without even acknowledging your ambition. At least I am honest about my desires." "And what are those desires?" Baako asked. Jelani's eyes glittered in the torchlight. "To never be powerless again. To make Mawingo so strong that no one would dare threaten us. And yes, to be acknowledged, to lead, not to stand in another's shadow. There is room for both of us to serve our people," Baako offered. "Your strength and knowledge are valuable, Jelani. Work with me, not against me." For a moment, something flickered in Jelani's expression, perhaps a memory of their shared childhood, of simpler times. But then his face hardened once more. "There cannot be two suns in the sky, Baako. One must rise as the other sets." With those words, he turned and walked back toward the village, leaving Baako alone with his troubled thoughts. The next morning brought news that changed everything. 3 hunters returned to the village in panic, having discovered a large armed force camped just a day's journey from Mawingo. From their description, There was no doubt, Sefu had indeed returned, and this time he had brought more warriors than before. The village erupted in fear. People gathered their children close, looking to Baako for direction. But before he could address them,